Mark,
Hey,
hey, what's going on? It might be you and me today. I did hardly any promo for this, but so
what do you normally promote it?
not really. Honestly, it's besides doing a little like share on social that it's happening. Like only the first time, like the first two times I did a significant amount of like put significant energy into it, and like I said, I really think this is just really more so us. Uh, like the content will drive more people to it, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good.
All right, let me switch this off. All right, it's gonna be great. All right, let's do it. Oh, anyone who's watching, of course, on after the fact, because we're always post this on YouTube, stream to Facebook, etc. This is Tai Chi the People from Justice for Hire, and it's free training, open training every week, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. Pacific. And each week we choose a charity of the week that or a noble cause that feels like the right one to support for the week. So this week you'll have the ASPCA. Of course, they do wonderful things for animal rights, and you can donate to them if you would like directly from our Instagram page. And you'll just see a little donate now button, and it takes you right to their page, and you can donate. 100% of the donations go to the cause of the week. So that said, it's gonna be one. And make sure that this is there. We go. All right. So what do we work on? Mark, since we're training every week, is there anything in particular you want to work on?
No, nothing in particular. I just like going through all of the different routines. So no, you just carry on as you normally would.
Okay. All right. So let's work on something that I think is super interesting, which is kind of a bringing the reverse breathing Tai Chi into a normal, a more into the normal Yang style. So let's try that. So, and this is coming from some adjustments made to the water boxing influenced Yang style form from, so you'll see this. Inhale to the belly, exhale, drop down. Pelvis rotates to the femur, hand becomes heavy. Just warm up for a second and shake the arms. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists lift the body. Exhale, push the breath to the palms and fingertips. Inhale, drawing in. Exhale, hands floating down. Let's do a quick warm up, inhaling up. Even deeper. Even deeper. Big breath. Exhaling down. So anyone who's new to Tai Chi, mouth will stay closed. All the breathing will be through the nose and into the belly. You're going to give the sensation of breathing a color, whatever intuitively comes to you, and see the breath gather in the belly as you inhale. See, feel, experience the breath as a color stream. Inhale even deeper, intensify the breath. Even deeper, the colors gathering in the belly. Even deeper, just go to your toes. And exhaling out. Exhalation is just as long as the inhalation. Inhale, hollow fists. Widen the stance. And tailbone drops down when you sit into your stance. Imaginary string lifts you from the top of the head. I'm actually going to adjust this so I can see a little bit more here. Imaginary string lifts you from the top of the head. And exhale, pelvis rotates in the femur. Inhale, breath pulls to the side and up. Eyes on the belly button. Exhaling down. Inhaling side and up. Exhaling down. And reverse it. Inhaling side and up. Exhaling down. One more. Drop the hands. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists. Exhale, wash the palm and fingertips. Inhale deep. Exhale, hands float down. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists from the side. Even the arms get pulled forward. They go up and forward. Exhale, push the color of the palms and fingertips. Inhale, draw the breath in, wrists in. Exhale. Fingers float down. Muscles soften from the head to the heels. Down the back. Inhaling up. Exhale out. Inhale, hollow fists. Exhale, bending the legs. Pelvis rotating on the femur, eyes looking straight down. Straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Chest parallel to the ground, inhale to the belly. And exhale, wash the color down the legs into the ground. Inhale deep. Exhale, wash the color through the lungs. Inhale deep. Exhale, wash the color down the arms and palms and fingertips. Inhale, open the hands. Exhale, crossing the arms through the legs, straight back. Lift the chest. Straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Inhaling into the belly. Exhale, wash the color down the legs. To the belly. Exhale, wash down the arms. Draw the color into the belly. Exhale, wash the lungs. Now deep and exhale, split the whole body. Drop the hands down. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists, wrists lift the body. Exhale out. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, shift the weight to one side. Inhale, drawing the breath up the leg. And exhale, kick the breath through the toes. Soften the muscles around the bone. And visualize the color going through the toes all at the same time. Switch sides. Inhale, drawing the breath up the leg. And exhale, kick through the toes. Dropping down. Inhaling up. Even deeper. Exhale, softening and sitting down to the ground. Inhaling up. As if we're hugging a tree here. And from this posture, we're going to shift our weight to the right leg and inflate the right arm. So as we shift, one hand will go up, the other hand will drop down, float down slightly. Inhaling up, exhaling down, back to hugging the tree. Shift sides, inhaling up, exhaling down. What's happening here is inhaling up and creating a shield with the arm, triceps, inflating through the tricep as the color comes in into the belly. Filling the tricep, exhale, drop back down to hugging the tree, shift to the other side. Inhale, really softening the shoulder so that the tricep lifts up as you inhale. The other hand, if you were in a grappling position or posture, there are multiple ways to use what's happening here, which is called ward off. Exhale down. Inhaling up. So ward off is really most expertly used from my experience of seeing somebody essentially connecting the forearm to the rib cage of the opponent, like a little touch, and using it to throw the opponent over their own hips. And that's really only properly accomplished if you have angle and timing. And so it's a really super high level Tai Chi move. You'll see lower level, even though they're very strong, but they're still not as pristine with their technique, Tai Chi competitors at arguably the world's best Tai Chi competition, which is in Chen Village, China. The difference between the Chen Village, China competition and the Taiwanese Tai Chi World Cup, competition, which is where I've competed. I've not gone to Chen Village, but I've gone to World Cup in Taiwan. Is that Taiwan, the playing area is essentially collarbone to hip, which is more like Greco-Roman wrestling. So the skill set that you develop from working on just this area of the body is significantly sharper versus working from head to toe. So like just by nature of you limiting the playing field, you're actually getting a lot. You have to be able to manipulate weight in a totally different way in this area. So when you're inhaling up, the way the timing would work, exhale down. While I'm talking, you can just keep on inhaling and inflating. Exhale, sit. When you inhale, shift to one side. So 70% of your weight goes to one side. The other leg straightens. Exhale down. Inhale up. One knee is bent. The other knee is mostly straight. Exhale down. But essentially what happens when you play in this area, when you connect here, and when I mentioned timing, is that the higher level players will slap your shoulder or tap your shoulder. And I mostly see this in Taiwan. And they'll sidestep. On the slapping and the sidestep, almost as if they're avoiding a hook, they'll place this arm out, the forearm, and then inhale and inflate. It happens very quickly. Slap, sidestep, inhale, inflate. And this step, you'll notice the footwork too. That footwork of push off the back into the front and inflate. This beautiful shape that comes out essentially takes space, it eats space from the opponent, knowing that you're avoiding one area and then helping them over their hip. Inhaling up, exhaling down. There's a more brute force way that I've seen it, and that's often in the competitions I've seen in Chen Village, China. Of course, I haven't seen all the competitions, so don't get on me for this comment, but oftentimes you'll see people do this same motion, same movement here in the solar plexus or right around the central chest area. In other words, that you're pushing the body over both hips rather than over one and knocking the angle of one hip over the other. Again, the sensitivity, it's such a minute detail that makes all the difference in the world. It's the difference between someone falling back a half foot or a foot and someone getting launched 7 feet over their own hips, which I've definitely seen. I've seen it with girls, not with men. When I've seen women, the top Tuisho Chen's sister, she's amazing, and she would launch girls like 4 to 7 feet easy with this wonderful movement. I used to study her tapes. They're all online, and they're actually right on our Tai Chi playlist on the YouTube channel. You'll just find Sports Tai Chi. Push hands or Coach Jan's Sports Tai Chi. You can find that on YouTube. So there's a whole playlist for those techniques.
Jan, what does that initial slap to the shoulder do?
Sure. So the initial slap is essentially similar to pretty much any martial art where you want to get a reaction from somebody. So you tap the shoulder, and oftentimes the tap on the shoulder will come with a push or an extension. So by pushing the shoulder, someone wants to push back. And that's really how higher level Tai Chi is played. It's on the pattern recognition of knowing that if you you start the chain reaction, and you really have to have the mentality of owning the start of a chain reaction. So by pushing, the natural response is that someone's going to want to push back. So the second you're in control of their response, or you know what their response is going to be, you can take advantage of it and strategize around it. So that first tap is normally done. It's like the lead shoulder, tap the lead shoulder, step off, and as you're stepping off, inflating. So you're literally stepping off, inflating for this position. Notice the one hand is here. Oftentimes, the hand that's pushing forward from that first slap, you're sliding across, or you're also potentially even sliding under your arm. So hence this posture that we're doing now, inhaling up. This position, which also works in grappling, which we'll talk about in a second. But the first, and I will note that I'm not that good at this technique that I'm describing right now. So like I'm working on it myself, but I wish I was a lot better than I am. But I'm tempted to articulate this particular technique. So inhaling up, exhaling out, inhaling up, Inhaling, shifting to one side, exhale. And this is so specific. I like inhaling up. So when you're grappling though, so let's say you're in a 50-50 clinch, which again means you're hugged up with your grappling partner. So this hand is behind their back and this hand is probably holding another arm. So, and both people are shoulder to shoulder. When you're here, the hand that's behind the back can come forward and create a bridge, which is often used in judo. It's often used in judo down here to create space before you come in and lift somebody over your hip and throw them over. So, which is really interesting because the same mechanic happens here with ward off, except it happens in the mid-range. So in the mid-range, this is really interesting for one, making your opponent uncomfortable. We can even just hold this posture. This is also often seen as this double press, but it's slightly lower. And so this posture is really, really interesting to play with at a 50-50 clinch level, but also from striking. If you're striking with elbows, creating space here and holding your opponent's arm, which allows you to have a position that gets you what's called the arm drag, which is for push hands in Taiwan, it's the equivalent of their jab. So the jab in Taiwan for Tai Chi push hands is that arm drag, where you drag the opponent's arm across the body and you either follow up with a ward off to blast them over the hips, or you can take the back. You do a lot of things from an arm drag. Very different than the American wrestling arm drag, even though it's the same in spirit, which is a handoff from one arm to the other and then pull, and sometimes pull and step, bring your chest and close the distance. It's more of a whip, and you whip it with the body. There's a wonderful drill that we can do another time with that. But essentially, this is still a very, very powerful, very uncomfortable mechanic. We can even bring the feet shoulder length apart and parallel. Inhale, exhale down. Inhaling up. Notice that one hand floats to the floating rib level, the other one slightly comes to heart level. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And again, from here, if you follow the reverse breathing technique of inflating the elbow, you can pop the elbow up, which in close range will help you throw elbows to the chin, to the side of the head, to the back of the head, or even drop elbows down into the sternum or rib cage when you're playing. And really, when you're in closer quarters, it's the dynamism of the circles that create the power. So if you can't go forward and back, can you spiral up and spiral down? And with that spiral, along that spiraling motion, where are you directing the attention? You can spiral forward at an angle, you can spiral back at an angle. So it makes these small moments, which is part of the reason we're standing feet shoulder length apart and parallel right now, is that to be able to generate power in this very common stance is a pretty big deal. It's just the reason that I love the Tai Chi reverse breathing techniques, especially shown by William C.C. Chen and by my coach Josh and Dan. Those guys really helped to develop a really interesting system of very strong power in small stances. And there's a great match online that no points are scored. It's me and Cui Xiao Chen, the world champ, 16-time world champ, at my dad's office. And we're going at it for a round. And the thing that's throwing him off, if you study the tape, is really it's the boxing stance. It's this very calm, shorter stance. And even when I'm playing around, his stance is much wider, and he's amazing. Like, please, like anyone who's watching, like, I love him very much. He's one of the best players that's ever lived, and he's got a very low. And this is how they train. They push 250-pound bags of rocks at their farm, at their gym, with their ward off, so that they're very strong in this posture and in this stance. So one of the things that we can do from, when I think of it as what does the American mindset and system bring to the table, Well, you have this kind of boxing, you have the MMA mentality, you have the boxing mentality. And when you're doing these movements, like the ability to essentially counter the long stances with the short, sharp angles, with the hooks, etc. These ideas, these ideas make their way directly into the Tai Chi mechanics of reverse breathing. So when you're inhaling, rather than throwing a punch for a hook, and you're here playing push hands in close quarters, you're inhaling, reaching across the body, and you're allowing, my back foot is picking up just like I was throwing a hook. So the back heel spirals. I'm into my left leg, and I'm paying attention to the softening of the groin and the winding of the muscles on the leg as I inhale, draw the color to the dantian. Same thing on this side. Inhaling up. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale, cross. Exhale, wind up. Inhale, cross. Exhale, drop down. Inhaling up. Exhale, drop down. So we're doing essentially uppercuts and body shots right now, but we're doing it with Tai Chi breathing mechanics. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, and making sure that I'm going right on the center line. Anytime I deviate, when I say center line, I'm looking at the screen, so my center is the center of my eyesight. I reach right up through it. That conceptual center line that comes through the imaginary string from the top of the head still can also expand forward in front of you. So it's going up and it's helping you maintain alignment. So I'm inhaling up, reaching through that line. Exhale, drop. Inhale up, reach through the line. Exhale, drop. Inhale across. Now, when I say across, I mean directly across. If I want to add a 45-degree angle, then I do that, but I do it intentionally. So first, across, let's go into 45, inhaling up, reach on 45. All of these movements, again, if you watch that tape, that video from 2009, again, which is on the YouTube channel, you'll see the moments where this is used to counter, to essentially stop the jab or the arm drag, the Taiwanese arm drag. This is the best way that I've found to stop the Taiwanese arm drag, which is essentially the second the arm comes up to drag you, you step, either switch stances and step, or you use the same one and wrap the arm around to crank the body, make the opponent uncomfortable, which turns their elbow up, reaching out. Again, reaching across and up, inhale, exhale, drop, inhaling up. And this is very similar to the sleeping tiger rolls over drill that we've done in the past, which I'll only do for a moment, just so you can see the similarities. All these movements are connected. They all have different intentions, which are important, but the mechanics of one bleed into the next. Inhaling up 45. And there's a wonderful, I forgot what her name was. There was a boxer that trained really wonderful hooks with these. Let's actually do some, let's honor her by doing some of these exercises. She would do an open hand slap, across, slap. So this is just open hand swinging from so over, under, side, side, and then switching. But we can slow this down and make this wonderful. I'm keeping my hands open. I'm leading with these three fingers. We can turn this into a Tai Chi drill. And again, I think this is so important that we're doing this because the concepts that we're essentially taking the mechanics of Tai Chi and we're applying it and showcasing how it can be applied to the other arts. So here we're doing reverse breathing Tai Chi. We're going to inhale, reach up, and now really feel the weight shift to one side and release the back leg just a bit. Inhale up, exhaling down. And feel that coiling down, that full drop. And then inhale across, exhale down. And really feel the difference between the exhaling on the drop and the inhaling, reaching up. And the difference is more than conceptual because one of them, of course, you're releasing space, releasing oxygen. The lungs are getting smaller. and the expansion of the lungs and how that affects the technique. Let's go to the other side. Exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. Let's just focus on just this one cutting across. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale. So when I inhale, I'm switching. Notice I'm covering the head, reaching across, and really extending through the hip. But it's not that I'm pushing the hip forward. I'm reaching, and I'm doing my best to incrementally increase the twist through the body, motivated by the breath. Exhaling, incrementally decreasing, going to sleep, washing down the leg. Inhaling up, leading with the fingertips, and allowing the rest of the body to be pulled naturally. Then whatever the natural pull is, sometimes I'll give a little bit of attention to pushing it more. So inhale, very natural. You don't need to go too far. Then I give it a little bit more. Exhale. Now, William Chen might argue that by giving it a little bit more, that you're adding tension. That is a totally valid argument. And I do not claim to be a master. I'm just saying it's interesting to contemplate, and I've used it in competition and it's worked. But just because it works doesn't mean it's optimized. So that there's always room for improvement, and I'm still on the path. Exhaling down, switching to the other side, inhaling up. Exhaling down, covering one face, and the other hand dropping down. From the side, notice that the spine remains straight. My back is still essentially a straight line I can draw down here. So I'm not really bending the back. I'm just letting the pelvis rotate and spiral downward on the femur. Inhaling up. Exhaling. And really feel the fingers and feel the tricep, even in this motion. So a lot of times you might want to keep the arms tucked in, but for this one, you want to give a slight inflation to the tricep. Very subtle, very slight. Exhale, drop down. Inhaling up. Exhale, drop down. Let's switch legs. Let's put if you had your right leg or left leg forward previously, let's switch to the other side. I had my left leg forward, so now I'm using my right. And inhale, reaching up. Exhale, drop. So inhale, and again, the finger, as you inhale, should feel like it's being pulled to a destination. Really important note on that. It's not that the arm is being pulled, it's that the fingertips are being pulled, which is why when we do that last exercise where we talk about just the fingers lifting and just the fingers dropping, the hand is being lifted by the tips of the fingers and being lowered by the tips of the fingers. So that particular mechanic makes its way into here. It's the fingers pulling the L shape of the arm. If you box, you know that if you throw the hook, or if you throw an overhand, or you throw an uppercut, or you throw a body shot, it's all the same L-shaped punch thrown on different axes. So the fingers are pulling the L shape across its axes. 45 degrees up, and then exhale, dropping it 45 degrees down. Here, my fingers reach in, almost as if I'm going to put my hand in my opposite pocket. Inhaling up, exhale, dropping down. Whether you're inhaling or exhaling, you can still feel the fingers being pulled to the destination, motivated by the breath. It's simply connecting the idea. You're using the exhalation and using the concept of direction to create a bridge for yourself in the mind that helps to strengthen your willpower. And willpower is the main reason you can watch these Shaolin monks have subpar, God bless them, but subpar fighting techniques when it comes to the science of fighting. There are things that Shaolin monks can get away with simply because of their willpower, that the chi, the exercises that they do, that strengthen the mind and body, where you'll see a Shaolin monk throw a kick that, you know, a Thai fighter throws. The Muay Thai kick is the most effective, most precise and strongest kick in the world, like from a body mechanic standpoint. Doesn't mean that every Muay Thai fighter is going to throw that beautiful, like the best in the world kick. So you can, but regardless, anyway, so you'll see like Shaolin monks throw, you know, kicks where they're leaving their hips behind, but you can see, if you know what you're looking at, the breath, the visualization, and the willpower, the intention move through their leg with much more clarity than, let's say, a great Muay Thai fighter. And so the willpower coming through in the delivery of their body to its destination is far greater than someone who might have a scientifically more precise angle and body mechanics. So it's just really, really interesting stuff. When you're talking about the refinement of willpower, let's switch sides again and bring it to a new exercise. But the refinement of willpower, inhaling in, bring the breath up, exhaling, washing it down. Let's bring the hands up. Exhale, push out. Inhale to the heart. Push out. Inhale again. Even deeper. And exhaling. Pushing forward, sitting. Inhale deep. We're going to hold our hands here. Very gentle but strong shape. And we're going to exhale, push forward. Inhale, draw in, back. Exhale, push forward again. Inhale deep. Exhale, push forward. Wave up. Use the hip to wave up. Here's the hip on the side. Wave up. Pull back. Exhale, push out. Wave up. Pull back. Exhale, push out. Inhale deep. Inhale, open the hands, reaching across. This is giant snake rolls over to fight. Inhale even deeper, eye looking at the middle finger. Exhale, one. Exhale, two. Inhale, gather, even deeper. Reaching across, even deeper. Exhale, one. Exhale, two. Drawing the breath in, uncover, reach across, inhale even deeper, eye on the middle finger, exhale, one. On the first exhalation, the hip snaps back, the waist snaps back. So there's weight on the arm that's coming from the core. So the arm is very relaxed, but the snap of the core helps it be even heavier, as if you were placing your arm on an opponent. Just placing the very relaxed, not dead weight arm, but a very relaxed arm on the opponent. So that helps to lower their guard, and then you strike, pushing the breath through. Inhaling even deeper. The elbow drops down, which helps you escape an arm lock and uncover the arm. Pulling it out. It's one of the techniques that's saved me so many times, especially when I was first starting out in martial arts. Inhaling deeper. Exhale, one. Exhale, two. Notice that the elbow drops down as the waist twists. And notice that it's more about the waist than the hip. You can push the hip forward, but you want to be cautious of the hip pulling the knee. So you want to leave the knee behind if you use the hip at all, but use the waist more. Inhale, dropping the elbow. Reaching across, one. Even deeper, inhalation, two. Looking at the palm like a mirror. Exhale. Show the mirror and face it down. Exhale, pushing through. Very special detail. The eye is on the middle finger, but the breath work, the breathing is into the pulse. So the breath visualization pushes through the pulse. One of the reasons for that, and we'll use this chair as an example, one of the reasons for that is because the application of this, or the intended application for for push hands for Tai Chi from the Wu style perspective, is that this arm is actually doing the pushing. The wrist is actually doing the pushing. The hand is just guiding it to the direction, but the wrist actually does the pushing. And if the wrist starts to slide because you're being soft and sensitive on your opponent, the wrist, any part that's touching the intended target, is going to do the push, which is part of how you're going to drop a lot of weight into one area. And the same thing in terms of sticking and dropping an area down. And when I say an area, I mean like a limb. So if you want to pull an opponent's limb from the Wu style Tai Chi, which is what the exercise we're doing is from, you wouldn't snatch the arm per se with a hard snatch. You would drop, or you would pull with one arm and gently allow the arm to slide on your opponent's arm or limb to drag them down. So it doesn't matter any particular position, as long as the contact is being made with the skin and that the mind has the intention to stick to it. So we'll do a few more, 2 more each side, inhaling up. Exhale, and then press. Notice how the elbow too, on this example, notice how the elbow catches. So there's going to be a point where the elbow is essentially, even if you slide on the hand, you start with the hand. A lot of times you start with the hand, boom, you have this wonderful little locking point on the wrist, and the elbow becomes even sharper and sharper and sharper like a blade as it's pressing through a particular point. So you drop the elbow, you see that moment happening right here. Exhale, push it out, out, out. And these are concepts, I'm talking a lot today because I love talking about this stuff. So stop me or ask a question if you have comments, questions, etc. But these exercises are mostly trained in slow 2-person repetitive drills. And more specifically, there's the 2-push and the 3-push Wu style Tai Chi push hands drill, which I, for the most part, only do with my father. And I've taught it to other people, but it's really challenging in my experience if you either don't have you need to either have a very dedicated practitioner to start doing that style of push hands, or you need to live with the person. And it can be challenging to be able to play with that 2-push drill. But I love it so much that how about we do it right now? Because you can actually do it on your own. But and when you find, and so hopefully you can practice this on your own. And then either when we get together, or if you meet anybody else, or if you're training this at home and you're watching on YouTube or something like that, you can start doing it with a partner. So this is the 2-push. You've seen the 1-push. We've already done that before. Press, scoop, in, look at the palm like a mirror, exhale, press, scoop in. The similarity to this one is that you're going to have your A-frame, which means nose over the knee, knee over the big toe. Let's just look at that A-frame for a second. Nose over the knee, knee over the big toe, straight line from the back heel to the top of the head. And when you inhale, the breath is going to pull the belly back. So the breath, like pulling a string, pulls you into the back leg. Your spine will be strengthened, meaning that your weight, notice that my toe is up rather than down. If it was down, look at what happens to the knee. Do you see how my knee pulls forward just a little bit? That little pull is my weight. It's committing to that front leg. So your weight should be so committed to your back leg that you can lift up the front leg. So that's a tenet of the Wu style stance. And of course, the stance is essentially shoulder length apart, but both feet facing forward. So my toes are actually facing forward. This back leg is not at 45 degrees, but it's actually facing straight ahead. And you might find that the hip might swivel a little bit, so you can bring the legs in, which will make it a little bit more narrow, but you want to make sure you're sitting on the back leg with that foot forward. So that's just a little note as we get into this. I'm very excited about doing this. So there's variations too. You can have left leg forward, right leg forward, left hand forward, right hand forward. So today we'll start with, let's see, let's do right leg forward, left hand forward. So an opponent, if you, or a partner, if you were doing this with a partner, would be in this position. We're going to get to that in a second, but hopefully for those of you that like putting together puzzles, one of you can do this and the other one can do it, and then you can actually come together and actually do it together. So this arm is a light ward off. It is essentially creating a bridge. It's not a fully activated, it's not a fully activated ward off. And in fact, you really won't see this in the Wu style at all, this fully activated tricep inflated ward off. You'll see a different version which has more of a barrier, and this is the barrier we're creating right now. So right hand, middle finger touches your left elbow. This left hand is in front. Imagine that you have your hand on the right elbow of your partner. And we're going to inhale, and we're going to guide the hand across. One. From the side, you're going to guide, turn to the side. From the side, one. So notice that you have almost like a play guitar moment here, but their hands aren't actually touching. Here, start again, left arm forward, right leg forward. Inhale, turn your waist. And now we're going to redirect the pressure. Exhale, pushing 2 palms forward. We have this double press. And we're going to keep turning. To wind up, the left hand comes over the right. And exhale. The right hand brushes the belly. The left hand is spiraling with the intention to press on the heart of your partner. The partner should be redirecting your hand this other way, 45 degrees, inhaling up. 1. Or you can do this, 7-star, play guitar. But 1, 2. Inhaling, exhale, press 1. And then left hand over right, 2. Right hand brushes the belly. When your right hand brushes your partner's belly, that's you reminding them to sit, to drop their tailbone and to sit down. Inhale, 1. Again, you can do the play guitar. 1 and 2. Notice that this is essentially our starting position. The starting position we did was actually here, and now we're up here. It varies, and you'll see why when you do it with a partner. But it varies based on pressure. Exhale, so inhaling 1. So you're going to do 2 presses, double palm press, and then left hand over right. That's press number 2. And you're going to do 2 loos. Loo 1, loo is roll back. Loo 2, roll back. And on, press 1, 2, loo 1, and loo 2. And sometimes you'll hear about Pong. Pong is like this wonderful rolling elbow hip raising up and rolling over. These exercises, just to take a second to talk about this a little more detail, the reason this is so powerful in my experience is because of the variations that happen within this pattern. 2 pushes, 2 rollbacks. But within these 2 pushes, 2 rollbacks, you can spend, and we would spend, well, all my Tai Chi uncles, my dad and our master, we would spend hours and hours and hours every weekend, and my dad and I, hours every day, just doing these exercises, even for a few minutes at a time. And you'll see spiral 2. Inhale, spiral 1. I'm only playing on one plane now. Spiral 2 on another plane and rolling down. So my hip drops down. Exhale, pushing forward and up. 1. From the side. 2, spiraling down. Inhale, pull back 1. Roll back 1. Inhale even deeper, roll back 2. Exhale, pushing 1. Exhale, pushing 2. Inhale, even deeper. Exhale. When you exhale, the elbows drop, the palms, It should feel like you're draping your arms across. And it looks like I'm overcommitting. That would not happen with this heel. Has to feel like it's anchored into the ground. So as you drop the arms, the intention drops here. The anchor in the heel clamps even more into the ground. So it becomes very hard to pull you off balance because when that happens, the groin softens too. It looks like the hips are swiveling out of place, but they're actually spiraling into a lock or a stronger root. And we'll show how to switch in a second. Inhaling 2, exhale 1. So there's an exercise or a technique called throwing the lute. This is throwing the lute. Tossing it out. 1, exhale 2. Look how you're digging in. If you've done any other push hands drills, especially the ones that have like the big circles, those are fun. I don't do those. I've done them. I don't do them because I've essentially being trained with this technique. These techniques help you pummel. They help you be relentless, and they're so soft. So you're essentially, and again, this is the arms like blades, Wu style concept. You're constantly pummeling into an opponent. So you're here, and let's actually switch legs. So we're going to keep the same pattern and switch legs. Now I've switched from all my weight's on my right leg, which is back. My left leg is forward. Exhale, pushing 1. Exhale, even deeper, pushing 2. Inhale 1. Inhale even deeper 2. Exhale 1. Deeper. And you can play with the breathing pattern. You can inhale, exhale, whatever feels right to you. Sometimes I mix in some Tai Chi reverse breathing here. But for the most part, I stay true to the Wu style technique because it's very different than the reverse breathing technique. It needs to be honored as such so that you can properly grasp it and then combine it with the reverse breathing, which is, again, completely different. Inhale, draw out 1. Inhale, even deeper 2. Exhale 1. Exhale 2 from the side. Inhaling 1, 2. So notice now I'm not doing the play guitar posture. I'm actually just holding the hands a little bit farther apart because it's actually simply more realistic for the drill. Exhale 1. This can be practiced as a Neigong exercise too. I'd say that to a certain extent, after practice, the Neigong, Qigong, etc., it all depends on how you do it with what mindset. Certain exercises lend themselves to certain types of circulation and health benefits, etc., but this can also be done as a Neigong exercise in a certain manner, especially if you're doing it on your own. Exhale. Notice how the waist is turning. The arms are hardly moving. So the arms are hardly moving because my waist is moving. Then I spiral up. You want to do minimal effort in the arms. Inhale, arms are hardly moving, just dropping level. 2, using the waist. Bomb. I'm going to make your screen a little wider so I can see it. There we go. So exhale 1, throw. Exhale even deeper 2, spiral. Yeah, so the left hand, we're still on left hand over the right. And notice that for one moment, the elbow almost looks like it comes up. You don't really have to do that. It's really more of a spinning of the waist. But here, dropping the elbow and pushing through. And you're turning on an angle. When you're doing this with a partner, you're going to go straight into them. And they're likely going to redirect your arm off to the side. when they redirect your arm, you're going to keep on dropping that elbow, just like I showed on the chair, into that single point. And then inhale, roll back, 1. Inhale even deeper, 2. And then you're pushing their arm back onto them. They're rolling you off, 1. You're pressing onto them, 2. They're rolling you off, 2. Inhaling, 1. Even deeper, 2. Exhaling, 1. 2. 1. 2. And this throwing the lute, the palms can be flexed and pressed out like that. I normally keep my hands a little more flat, but you can totally do that. My father would likely do this. And exhale, 2. Inhale, 1, 2. Let's actually reverse it now by doing 3. We did a third one, a third roll back, and now we press and throw the opposite way, 1. And we wind up. Now right hand comes over left, 2. Left hand brushes the belly of the partner. Inhaling, roll back, 1. Inhale, roll back, 2. And then throw. Exhaling, pushing off the back heel into the front leg. Extending out, 1. Inhale deep, 2. So notice, super big point, brushing the belly. As the hand finishes brushing your opponent's belly, this conceptual belly here, it comes right up here. It's one of the most important defensive concepts that I've ever experienced in martial arts. From one moment to control. So you go from gently reminding your opponent to controlling their elbow. And when you control the elbow, roll back, 1, you control the upper body. So, and then right here, right after that one, the same thing happens again. Goes right up to an elbow, 2. The extended palm is meant to be placed on an elbow. Exhale, 1. Right hand comes up, exhale, 2. The left hand is brushing the belly and it comes right up, positioned onto an elbow. And then you inhale, directing the arm from the elbow and the wrist down, 1. Opponent's going to come with a second push, comes right up to the elbow and guards your chest, 2. You redirect with elbow and wrist. Exhale, 1. Even deeper, 2. Comes right up. Inhaling, 1. From the side. Inhaling, 2. Exhaling out, 1. 2. 1, comes right up, 2, and as you start playing with it, as you start getting a little more free, you can start finding with the difference of pressure and level, different moments. So bird's tail, for example, you'll find a little bit more of a spiral here in certain moments. All the Tai Chi moves, or many of them, you'll find in this exercise. And you'll find these amazing little moments. I think I just did one too many. There we go. Right hand over left on the second push. And now let's keep the same hands and switch feet. Now the right leg is forward. Inhale even deeper. Exhale, press. So now we've done each side, each variation. 2. Inhaling back, 1. Inhaling deeper, 2. Exhale, pushing from the heel to the hands, 1. The waist spirals and you unload, so you uncoil into your partner. Puts immense amount of pressure on them and requires.
Is this an elbow right here?
Say it again?
Is that grabbing the elbow right here?
So the second push is pressing into the sternum.
Oh, okay.
The solar plexus of your partner. So you're spiraling, you're essentially spiraling a push right into their chest. And you're doing this, at a slower speed because you want to practice drilling the intention here, drilling the pressure right to one point.
Uh-huh.
What you're doing is redirecting you across the body, which is why you're you're engineering this in your own solo exercise. So when they turn you across the body, you're already ready to receive their response because now you're essentially fully extended, and something's going to happen, but you know what's going to happen. So you're essentially setting yourself up for the results you want. So you get the hand from the belly, boom, hand comes right up, and then inhale. You're already redirecting them down. One, hand comes up, you're redirecting them again, two. Exhaling, throwing the energy back, and then spiraling right into them, and then they throw right back at you. Inhale, drawing in, one. Inhale even deeper, two. Exhale, throwing it back, one. Exhale, even deeper, two. You can inhale or exhale.
Okay.
Sometimes I might even inhale on these and exhale. So 2 rollbacks, 2 pushes. Second push, you'll always feel that spiral. And that spiral, you'll feel a twist in the waist and uncoil in the waist and the hip. Inhale, roll back. 1. Even deeper, 2. Exhale, pushing out. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, down. Very happy we did that.
Yeah.
One more. And the feet 2 fists apart. Inhale, breathless, the wrist up the body. Fingers to the back wall. Chest to the ceiling, hips forward. Wiggle the toes, exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees. Inhaling out. Fingers to the back wall. Chest to the ceiling, hips forward. Wiggle the toes, exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees, inhaling out. 1 foot forward. Exhale, push it down. There we go, switch. Down. Inhaling up, switch legs, 45 degrees. Exhale. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up, switch legs, 90 degrees. Inhaling up. And down. Inhale up. Exhale, wash the leg down. Inhale up, turn to the right side, exhaling down. Inhaling up, turn to the left side. Inhaling up, roll the arms behind you and wash down the legs. And chop it up. Pull the shoulders down the back. And then inhaling up, just the fingertips. Put the hands together around the chest. Inhaling to the belly, exhale, pushing the collar through the palms into the heart, lungs, tapping around the breast, around the pectoral, the outside of the pectoral major muscles, going around here, perimeter, and massage into the breast itself, to the muscles, the pressure points, the lymph nodes, then floating right up. Other side. Floating right up. 4 fingers on the sternum, tapping up and down. Hook on the side of the collarbone. And massage it up, really relax down to the reproductive organs. Back of the neck. Up on the face, to the side, up to the side, up to the side, fingers to the scalp, front to back, back to front, front to back, back to front, massage, front to back, back to front, slapping, front to back, back to front, grab the scalp, knead it like dough, release, 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 and reverse it, release, 2, release, release, 4 fingers at the top of the forehead, 1, 2, and reverse it, 1, 2, temples, 1, 2, and reverse it, 1, under the eyes, 1, 2, and reverse it. The groove between the eyeballs and bone, tap around. Middle finger on the eyebrow, 1, 2, 3, the bridge of the nose, side, nostrils, the heart, 1, 2, 3. Switch, top and bottom, switch, side, 1, 2, switch, tongue, and reverse it. Flick that. Hands and thumbs. And 1, 2, 3. And grab 1, 2. Press and hold. And drill 1, 2, 3. And each circle bigger. Top and bottom. And sides. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom massaging sides. And the other hand, press and hold. And drill 1, 2, 3. Tap around 1, 2, 3. Top and bottom. Sides. 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 And press the hands together, fingers, and push, and relax. And inhale, white line to the belly. Exhale, spread through the whole body. Inhale, roll the light up the front of the body, feet to head, white light. Exhale, roll down the back, head to heels. Inhale, white light up the left side, foot to head. Exhale, roll down the right, head to foot. Inhale, white line to the belly. Push to the top of the head like a fountain. Inhale, white line to the belly one more time. Exhale, spread it down the legs, down to the ground. Let it come back up and around like a fountain in reverse. Surround the body, big bubble. Have gratitude for the body, good people around you, the space you're in. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mark. Training.
Thank you, Dan. That was great. I really liked, I never had much opportunity to do push-hands, so that was really fun.
Yeah, that stuff is, to me, is the sport is wonderful, but it's not really sustainable. You know, I mean, it's great, but like, you know, anytime you're in athletic training, you're essentially on seasonal training. So you can't really do it year round, and you'll just destroy the body if you do. So like doing this other stuff that it helps you see all these other amazing subtleties, to me, like that soft push hands, to me, is one of the greatest things that I feel like the Tai Chi system has to offer. So
yeah, a lot of fun.
Hopefully we'll do it in person soon.
All right, sounds good.
Love you, man.
Okay, Jan, thanks.
Everybody who watched online, of course, this is Justice for Hire's Tai Chi to the People, and it's every week. Tuesdays at 5 Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's free training, but of course you can donate to the cause of the week, and this week is the ASPCA which is a wonderful animal rights organization that does some great work. So you can go to our Instagram, instagram.com/justiceforhire, and you'll see the little donation link for the ASPCA. It'll take you right there, and you can donate directly to them. And thank you, and we love you. Bye. Love you, Mark.
Okay, thanks, Jan.